Here's something that almost nobody's talking about when it comes to blood sugar control. It's not just what you are eating. It's mostly about when you stop eating. Because you can eat clean food, whole foods, high fiber foods, avoid sugars, avoid processed carbohydrates, and still have terrible blood sugar the next morning. Not because of what you ate, but because of when you stopped eating it. So if your fasting numbers won't come down no matter how clean you eat, or if you wake up with fasting blood sugar actually higher than when you went to bed, or if you wake up feeling groggy and sluggish and you cannot figure out why, then this video is going to explain everything for you. Most people think of food as fuel, calories in, energy out. But here is what's actually fascinating. Food is also a timing signal. Every time you eat, you send your body a very specific message. It's daytime. Stay alert. Keep insulin up. Store energy. That message is perfect at noon, but it's a disaster at 9 p.m. Because at night, your body is supposed to shift into repair mode. In other words, recovery mode. The mode that directly determines how your blood sugar is going to look like the next morning. And unfortunately, late night eating completely shuts that off. I would say that out of all the habits that silently drive high blood sugar, eating late at night is right on top of the list. Let me show you exactly why, starting with research-backed science. But before I dive in, really quick, if you want our free meal plans that help you reverse insulin resistance, the root cause behind high blood sugar levels, go ahead and comment guide below this video and I'll send it your way. It's completely free. Number 1, what does the science actually show about late night eating and your blood sugar? Researchers at the University of Kumamoto in Japan published a randomized crossover trial. This is the gold standard on research design. This was published in the journal Nutrients in the year 2021. And here's exactly what they did. 12 healthy adults ate the exact same meals. Same calories, same macros, 15% protein, 25% fat, 60% carbohydrates. The only variable of the study design was the time that they ate the food. More specifically, at dinner time. One group ate it at 6 p.m. and the other group ate it at 9 p.m. That's it. A 3-hour difference, same food, same people. And the results were actually dramatic. The late dinner group had significantly higher blood glucose levels, not just after dinner, but all the way through the night until 6 a.m. the next morning. The researchers measured this using CGMs, continuous glucose monitors, worn 24 hours a day. So there was no guessing. Real results from your blood sugar in real time. And then the next morning, both groups ate the same breakfast at the same time. Here's what happened with the early dinner group. They showed significantly better fat oxidation 30 minutes and 60 minutes after breakfast. Now, fat oxidation simply means that your body has decided to burn fat as opposed to glucose. Think of it like your body choosing between 2 gas tanks, a sugar tank and a fat tank. The early dinner group woke up already pulling from the fat tank. Their bodies had made that switch overnight because insulin was low enough to allow it. The late dinner group didn't make that switch. They were still running on sugar, still storing it, and holding on to fat, just from eating 3 hours later. So here is the researchers' conclusion. Despite a difference of only 3 hours, eating dinner early at 6 p.m. had a positive effect on blood glucose level fluctuation and substrate oxidation compared with eating dinner late at 9 p.m. 3 hours, same food, dramatically different blood sugar responses, all the way till the next morning. That's why timing matters just as much as content. Number two, why does this even happen? So what is the mechanism here? Why does a 3-hour window produce such a significant effect? Well, every time you eat, insulin rises. That is completely normal. Insulin's job is to move glucose from your bloodstream and into your cells. But insulin needs to fall at night so your body can activate its own repair system. That process is called autophagy, your body's cellular deep cleaning mode. It clears out damaged mitochondria, removes the dysfunctional cells that drive inflammation, and resets your metabolism overnight. Now, here is the critical link to blood sugar. Damaged mitochondria are directly linked to insulin resistance. When the mitochondria is impaired, your cells stop responding to insulin properly. Then glucose cannot get into your cells efficiently. It stays circulating in your bloodstream, and then your fasting blood sugar the next morning is higher than it should be. And autophagy only activates when insulin levels are low enough. Every meal past 6 p.m. spikes insulin. It blocks autophagy, and you wake up with fasting blood sugar that reflects that. Exactly what the Japanese researchers captured in real time. This is why people tell me, Jose, I'm eating, I'm exercising, I'm doing everything, but my fasting blood sugar is still high. And the first question that I ask is, well, what time did you stop eating last night? Number three, the cortisol connection. Now, here's a part that most people miss completely. Late night eating doesn't just affect your blood sugar that night. It affects your fasting blood sugar the next morning through cortisol. Cortisol, as you may know, is a stress hormone, and it follows a very specific rhythm. Lowest around 2 a.m. and gradually rising towards the morning to wake you up. That is a healthy pattern. But when you eat past 6 p.m., you disrupt that pattern. Late night eating raises nighttime cortisol, and elevated cortisol signals your liver to secrete glucose into the bloodstream while you sleep. So you wake up with higher fasting blood sugar. Not necessarily from what you ate the day prior, but from glucose that your liver dumped starting at 2 a.m. This is known as the famous dawn phenomenon, and eating late makes it dramatically worse. And there's one more layer to this whole thing. When darkness falls, your brain releases melatonin, but melatonin also suppresses insulin secretion from the pancreas. So if you eat past 9 p.m., you have a glucose spike from that meal, but reduced insulin capacity to clear it. Remember, insulin is like a key that opens the door of your cells so glucose can go inside of them. If these keys are suppressed, then you cannot open as many doors as you would like, right? It's a bad combination. Additionally, one poor night of sleep from all of this disruption can decrease insulin sensitivity by up to 25% the next day. And late night eating disrupts sleep. Period. End of story. Through elevated cortisol, bloating, and slower digestion. So in summary, the loop looks like this. Late night eating, disrupted cortisol and melatonin, poor sleep, 25% drop in insulin sensitivity, leading to higher blood sugar, more cravings, and then late night eating all over again. That is the loop keeping people stuck. So how do we actually break this cycle, Jose? Well, the good news is that it's fixable and it's much simpler than you think. Set a hard cutoff and signal it to your environment. Pick 6 p.m. if possible, but I know that's hard, so let's do 7 p.m. as the hard cutoff. Then make it physical. Turn the kitchen light off. Put a small sign on your pantry if you need to. Kitchen is closed. And immediately after your last meal, brush your teeth. The minty sensation actually creates a real sensory barrier that is surprisingly effective. Also, remove the friction points. Here's the thing about late night eating. Most people aren't actually hungry. It's dopamine. When you're tired or stressed in the evening, your brain craves something sweet, crunchy, or salty. Not because your body needs fuel, but because processed food is engineered to trigger that reward response. So, remove the trigger. Snacks in closed containers in the back of the pantry. No visible food on the counter. We're not eliminating freedom. We're adding friction between you and the dopamine loop. And at the grocery store, get in, get out, and shop around the perimeter. You can also replace your late night ritual. A cup of peppermint or chamomile tea after dinner satisfies the oral habit without spiking insulin. The warmth and the routine replace the snacking pattern neurologically. It sounds small, but it genuinely works. You can also support your overnight fast with the correct supplements. If you're taking Jade Supplements Pure Berberine, take your evening 600 milligram dose, which is 1 capsule, with your last meal before your cutoff, not later. This blunts any post-dinner glucose rise and keeps your insulin sensitivity support working through the overnight fast. Berberine is one of the most powerful natural compounds you can take to lower not only your fasting blood sugar, but also your A1C, which is your average blood sugar levels. You can learn more about berberine from a diabetes dietitian by clicking this video right here. I will link it on the top of the screen. Also, take magnesium glycinate and ashwagandha about an hour before bed. It directly supports the cortisol disruption we talked about. It promotes deeper sleep and supports insulin sensitivity overnight. I take this every single night. So if you're interested in these supplements, they're going to be in the links below this video. So from your cutoff until the next morning, water, herbal tea, sparkling water. That's it. Anything else restarts the insulin clock. Here is the recap of this whole video. A randomized crossover trial showed that eating dinner at 6 p.m. versus 9 p.m., same food, same calories, produced significantly lower blood sugar all the way through the night until 6 a.m. the next morning. Late night eating keeps insulin elevated, blocks autophagy, and prevents the overnight cellular repair that directly improves insulin sensitivity. Elevated nighttime cortisol from late eating signals your liver to dump glucose while you sleep. This is what drives high fasting numbers in the morning. The melatonin overlap means your body has reduced insulin capacity at night. The same meal eaten late produces a bigger, longer blood sugar spike. The fix is environmental. Hard cutoff, teeth brushed, kitchen closed, friction added, ritual replaced with tea. Lastly, you can support the fast with berberine at your last meal and magnesium glycinate with ashwagandha before bed. Also, don't forget to comment guide below this video so I can send you our ultimate blueprint for perfect fasting blood sugar levels. It's 100% free. It contains 3 different meal plans to choose from, and I think you're gonna love it. Now, if this video connected the dots on how to improve your fasting numbers, please go ahead and give it a like, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, and share this video with someone who might need the help. You've got this. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.